Evening all, welcome to some more tactics as we continue our rampage of plasma and FLALOCK. I think we need to call it the FLALOCK cannon. There you go, that's a good... the PLAS-LOCK. I like that one even more, that's good. Oh, this gun is fun. This is actually, do you know what? Let me be honest with you. This gun combo has got me logging into Dust more than I ever have. That is impressive for me. Because I even sit here, so as I come back from my hard day down the salt mines, you know, and I'm tired and I've got little teardrops in my eye because of the hard, you know, Fred down the shaft got killed today because lol, he, you know, took a smoke into a dodgy area and boom. I'm actually joking, by the way, I don't work in a salt mine, that would be ridiculous. It's a metaphor, but as, you know, it's a fitting one because as you come back from a hard day's work, the first thing you want to do is actually relax, isn't it? Right. And I think with myself, I think one of the fun things to do is to sort of come home, put the computer on, see what people have said on Skype, because Christ, I get sent some crazy shit on Skype. It's always good to check in with Joshua Evil. He's obviously the leader extraordinaire of Darkstar Army. He's a top bro. And Josh is one of these kind of poets of life. And sometimes he just says some of the most amazing things, very profound, deep things. And sometimes he'll just draw a massive ASCII cock in Skype. That obviously is just, just a little present for us all after a hard day's work. Anyway, so one of the beauties of gaming, I think, is that you kind of look forward to doing a game, and I think certainly with the range, the plethora of games out there, you do have your lists, you have your games that you play for a bit of fun, and depending on what kind of mood you're in. So if you fancy kind of a bit of an aggressive, drinky style game, then obviously you'll play things like Dust. If you want maybe relax, you'll play Space Engineers, Minecraft, something like that. And if you want to maybe just have an exploration or a day of wonder, you'd go and play Elite or etc. And I think this has got to be one of the beauties of gaming, really. But Dust is drawing me back in because Dust is doing something exceptionally good, which is it's making games fun and interesting because the guns are fun and interesting. Now that's a funny statement to make, I know, but let me be clear with you, right? When I played PlanetSide 2, for example, I love PlanetSide 2, by the way. It is an amazing game, it's very good, but it doesn't have this kind of feeling of, I don't know, proper comedy combat that this game does. And I think, a lot of games try to do something like this. So Call of Duty and Battlefield 4 also, I think, have got issues with this, where they've made the guns, etc., a bit too realistic. So, it's a little bit kind of far-fetched in everything. So, you couldn't use a rocket launcher like you do here. Well, I guess you kind of could, but not in all instances. However, in games like Dust, I think it's the kind of sci-fi connection and the design of the guns that actually do make it feel fun to play. So people, for example, Judge, he loves playing the dropships because they've done the dropships so well. They feel like a proper VTOL moving vehicle that takes skill to use, that takes skill to do, etc. So it's a really kind of nice, it's a very well designed asset of the game. For me, things like the plasma cannon and the FLALOCK and the mass driver and remote explosives are the fun part of the game because I love the thought of rushing in and killing somebody with massive alpha strike and then running away into the dark, faux-foing into the distance. And I think to me that's the unique selling point for this game to me. ARs and scrambler rifles and the assault rifles in general are not terribly interesting to me. They're fun. They are very, very, very efficient and very good guns, but they're not fun to me. They're just what you do to get the job done. To me, running around a corner, jumping, strafing, firing a plasma cannon round into the feet of someone and then running away into the distance is one of the most awesome feelings of this game. So I highly recommend it. And it doesn't have to be the plasma cannon. Just find whatever it is that gives you enjoyment and amusement and go for it. And I think, to be honest, that's all you can do. Look at that. That's fun. That is just like, wow, what a kill. And I think when you have days like that, that's really what you're looking for. To be honest, it feels like the old FLALOCK days are back. Anyway, so there we go. That's certainly one of the reasons why I certainly am still playing this game. I think, it can be annoying, it can be frustrating, but I think, it's funny, I took a bit of a conscious decision as well to kind of distance myself somewhat from the CPM stuff as well. I think You know, we are going to do something on the CPM, but I think, you know, last week and everything that happened with Saberwing was just a bit too close to the bone. And I felt a little bit kind of like, you know, Saberwing was a good guy. And I think, you know, he's missed. I miss him already. And I think, to be honest, I'm more interested in just enjoying the game. It was getting a little bit too herf-blurf, getting a little bit too political. It's already getting a little bit kind of power mongering and power play, and I think, to me, not interested. Particularly when you see things like Destiny coming through. I mean, I've got to admit, I've not really had Destiny on my radar at all. I've known of it, I've known about it, but I didn't realize it's already an alpha, and it's actually a playable alpha. And I watched, as I said in the previous video, I watched some footage of it, and it's like, wow, these guys have been making Legion for a few years. And it does feel like it, you know, with the mission system and the kind of loot system. It does feel like they're creating something quite special. It's not going to be on PC though, so I think that one saving grace could be what Legion is being aimed at, is filling the gap between you know, that rift, if you like. Now the chances are it'll never be on PC because you know, I mean, Halo 3 hasn't even been released on PC yet, and that is a good example of where the console manufacturers do keep some games completely away from the consoles because they know that it will force sales in some way. So it does make sense in a kind of way, but it is a shame. So I think if you know, but the thing is, there is good news. Destiny is coming out on the PS3, and I happen to have quite a lot of PS3, so I think that's really good news. We're going to definitely play it, and I think, you know, I'm kind of waiting for a bit of news on it, really. Worst case, if it does come out on PS4, I will have to get one, I guess, and try it out. And then if it's crap, I'll just return it and say, what a load of rubbish this console was. Please, can I return it? Of course, I'm saying don't do that. That's terrible. Do not do that. So yeah, I mean, Destiny's looking to be an interesting game nonetheless, because it's going to have all of the kind of aspects of Dust. But it's going to have also all the aspects of Legion, and it's just going to be here sooner. Bungie, the guys that are doing it, are pretty good developers as well. I would say that they have an amazing pedigree behind them. So it's going to be interesting to kind of see how that all works. For me, I think, you know, I have issues certainly with some of the Halo stuff because, you know, Bungie, I think, they're very much Microsoft. Well, they're bought by Microsoft, weren't they? And I think I do have a slight issue with that, but I think it's going to be a good game nonetheless. And I'm kind of, you know, already from what I've seen, the mission systems do look quite good. Anyway, I digress. So yeah, stay tuned. I'm kind of curious to see where Dust is going as well. I think Hotfix Beta is looking to be quite interesting as well. As I see a scout cloak run past me. Where is he? There he is. No hiding from me. I think there's definitely some sort of fun stuff coming in Hotfix Beta as well. I mean, I've already seen there's like changes to swarms. I'm not too sure why, but swarms, I guess, are quite good. But I don't know. I wouldn't have said that vehicles are exactly dominant at the moment. I think I could be wrong. Post in the comments. Tell me what you think. Personally, I think, you know, it felt quite balanced at the moment with the old swarms, forge guns, tanks, and dropships. It all felt kind of like it was working. But I'm happy to be corrected because I don't really know. I've not run vehicles generally that much in months because I'm quite enjoying other things. But yeah, post in the comments, tell me what you think. In terms of other things, I mean, I don't know. I think, you know, CCP Ritati is doing a good job kind of, you know, polling the player base there. He's kind of obviously finding out what certain people think, and, you know, that's drawing, interestingly, it's drawing into other areas of the game as well. So, you know, I think there's generally a quiet desire to keep, you know, tweaking the game, which is wonderful to see. For me, I'm quite happy at the moment, to be honest. There's nothing really I could sit here and say that's overpowered, that's underpowered. I think the FLA-LOCK's great. Please don't nerf it. It's perfectly fine. The plasma cannon seems kind of good. No, I'm quite happy actually. I think the scout suit I'm running feels weak and strong at the same time. I honestly couldn't think of a single thing to kind of say, well, that doesn't work, because I'm honest, I don't think there's anything wrong with any of it, to be honest with you. I don't know. Post in the comments. What do you think needs to change? I honestly cannot put my finger on anything. No, honestly, that's so bad, isn't it? I should have at least one thing to kind of launch, but no, I don't. So maybe that's a good indicator for the game. I don't know. Maybe remote explosives. I don't know. They need a bit of a buff. I don't know. Who knows? So there we go. Hope you enjoyed that. We'll see you next time.
Bye.